Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 4 of Men in Sheds. Today, we have another guest with us, the fat muscle, Sam Solomi himself, the legend. It just so works out that me, him, and Carl have done King Kong today, and we thought we'd jump on. Paddy's on the move, so we're throwing an episode together here, and we'll just talk about a few bits. But these two have just been talking about a bit of a hot topic to start on, really, with someone put a comment on last week's episode saying they think the Thomas Cinci replicas with the longer handles are easier to lift, which I don't agree with. I think they're easier. Paddy, what do you think?
I genuinely don't know. In terms of like strength shot versus Hull, like the strength shot ones are 100% easier. Like there's no question, and they've obviously got the longer handle. But like I think if Nathan made one with a longer handle, which had it was like the same width and everything. I don't think it'd be any easier. I quite like wedging my hand in on the holes. And I haven't got the biggest, like widest hands, so they sort of fit like mint for me. So I don't know. I don't know if that's just handle quality or length, but I don't get much out of tilting them basically.
What do you reckon?
I think the same with the short handles. I've got really, really thick hands.
Yeah.
Now with the short handle, my hand touches both sides of the dumbbell, and that actually stops the rotation. So personally, I find the short, normal sized holes easier. Obviously, the strength shot one is easier because it's got like an easy side where if you lift it the easy way, then it's really, really easy relative to the hole. Whereas if you lift the strength shot the hard way, you've actually got more of the weight on the thumb side.
Yeah, it's like an oval.
Yeah, so it's like an offset handle, really. Like
yeah, it's still easy though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So it's got an easy side and a hard side to it, hasn't it? Which is, I think, yeah, I would say that for me personally, the short handle is easier because of the wedge, like you said, about wedging the hand in.
Yeah, short.
What do you reckon, Tom?
Short handle. It just fits.
Tom, can I just say, 2.5 minutes in, you haven't actually introduced our guest.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I know you said who he was, but
do you know what? I suppose. Yeah, go on, you introduce yourself. Actually,
so my name's Sam Solomi. I'm fat muscle coaching. Probably the first official grip coach in the world. Obviously, we've got Paddy doing it now as well. So we've got quite a few options now for grip coaching in the UK.
Yeah.
I think I was the first to actually start offering it as a standalone service. My background's in powerlifting, and I was the first in the UK to hit 1,000 kilo raw powerlifting total back in 2018. I think it's like 10 people have done it now. It's becoming like, 1,000 kind of needed to be in the elite club now.
Always good to be the first, though.
That's the first. That's something that can't be taken away from you. Once you're first, then it's done, and that will always be with you. So I've moved into grip now that I've retired from powerlifting. I'm focusing on grip lifts, and potentially one of the things that I want to achieve in grip sport is to be the first person to pinch 3 20-kilo plates, which a few people years ago said is absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a lifetime goal for me in grip sport.
Yeah.
So,
calibrated or
calibrated. But what will have to be done is it has to be thin calibrated plates, but they will have to be shot blasted to take the texture off them because the paint is too slippery. But they're actually the right width, so it is doable. But it's more.
What do you reckon it is? Like it's about 60 mil, isn't it?
Yeah, I think like with most it's about 60 to 65 mil. Some brands are slightly thinner, so between 56 and 60 would be optimal for getting that.
That's some goal, that.
But I think it's doable long term.
You've got that in you as well, Pad.
Yeah, that is doable for you as well, I'd say.
Yeah, pinch isn't my favorite, but I think I'm better at two-hand pinching. I don't really know why. I'm pretty good on a pinch block, to be fair. But
I think with the wrist strength from sandbag lifting, when you probably in, that translates really well. If you look at some of my clients doing grip for strongman, Saxon bar translates really well to stuff like sandbags and stones. That cupping effect of having the hand do that's probably why you're strong at it. Because compared to a 180 kilo sandbag, a Saxon bar weighing 100 is like a light wrist curl for you.
Yeah, I was thinking heavy wrist curls are just so key for strongmen. And also I was speaking to Neil Pickup, in his arm wrestling days. He couldn't deadlift as much as this, but he would do barbell finger curls with 300 kilo out of rack.
Yeah.
How mad is that? I was just
similar numbers actually. I've had Andy Bolton used to do finger rolls with up near that weight as well.
Yeah,
he did a 1,000 pound deadlift back in 2006, I believe. He was doing fingertip shrugs with 280 kilos for sets of 20.
Jesus.
So he's just letting the weight, like double overhand as well. So obviously his double overhand deadlift would have been like in excess of 300 at this time. You could shrug it in his fingertips, which is insane.
I've seen Paul Maiden do 110 kilo wrist curl.
One-handed?
Yeah, one-handed.
That's wild.
I think he did 2 reps at it.
Yeah. How do you even get that's insane?
Someone, obviously loads it up onto his and just
that's like wrist curling the Millennium Dumbbell. That would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's something Ollie would be doing that.
I would be doing that, yeah. He's putting
like,
out some great stuff lately, isn't he?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ollie's got like a whiteboard at home and he's just like cross-referencing every possible grip.
He actually is.
Everything. And what I find really strange is with grip, with feet, if I work towards one thing, something else tends to go down. Yeah. So obviously if you work thick bar, pinch drops off. If you focus on grippers, everything else goes to shit, Whereas with Ollie, he seems to be progressing everything
at the same time.
Just that little bit, which is really, really interesting. How I think it's because like we do like different sports, like you do strongman, Tom does arm wrestling, I arm wrestle a little bit as well. And I think with focusing on other stuff, it's harder to prioritize everything.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
Ollie's definitely in the conversation for like top 5 in the UK. I think.
Oh, I think so.
I think there's us 3, Tiny, and probably Ollie. Then.
That's fair. I think that's fair to say.
Sorry if I'm missing anyone.
Yeah, who else is there? I mean,
I think what's Big Loz like with grip at the minute? I think he's pretty much.
He's not. His grip's always been good for strongman, but it's not. Yeah. It wouldn't compete with us lot in like. You picked up my 85 hole, which is pretty cool, but like
actually,
it's very good.
Big hands, Loz, and really long, strong thumbs as well. I remember.
Yeah, it's just not his focus.
Yeah, it's massive.
If Loz turned around and said like, "Look, I'm going to focus on grip," I think it'd be unreal. But like having a good grip in strongman's very different to going to a grip comp and hanging with with the best, because you just need to be good at so many different things. That's like strongmen tend to just be good at like thick bar and crush usually. So like pinch is normally a little bit weaker, but
one thing I noticed as well coming over from powerlifting. When I tried the vertical bar lift for the first time, I was absolutely dog shit. Because my hands, like my lat, I used to bend down to pick up like something like 50 kilos on a haul, and my lat and tricep would just go into cramp, just from positioning. So I think I just couldn't get. I think I did like 65 at the British, and it was max effort.
Yeah,
swamp monster issues.
Like it's literally like I think strongmen are not built for that kind of lift, Whereas the cliffhanger, the ridge thing where you...
Oh, here we go. I knew you'd bring this one up.
Where the bar sits in your fingertips. When I used to powerlift competitively, I'd always hang on to a deadlift with like a monkey grip, where the bar sat right in my fingertips to maximize the range of motion. So like...
This is what we spoke about this though, Sam. Like that grip for strongmen is so fucking strong. Like when I did my wrecking ball, I had the last 15 seconds with just like that.
Yeah,
I was like making all the, but like I could hold like one
stronger than that. I think
I could hold like 180, 200 farmers in my hand like that, and no sweat.
It'll be interesting to see what you could do on the cliffhanger.
Would actually.
I think you'd be up near 100 as well.
I think I'd be all right. Yeah,
I think it'd be a good lift for you because it feels like that moment when you're about to lose the farmers or lose a bar.
Yeah,
it's that I've got that extra bit to hang on to it.
Yeah,
like when you're looking at the judge who's got the bar hanging on. That
giving it the eye.
It's such a key skill, though, isn't it? Like having that extra, like if you can just hang on for an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah. Did you watch the show last weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously,
another just again. Ridiculous, isn't it? Like, and then he put a video out after saying, like, if everyone else could get better, that would be great because I'm finding winning quite boring.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The Hercules hole was interesting, wasn't it? That was.
Yeah. I was disappointed in Bibby. I thought he was going to come and just smash it. Really.
What did Bibby end up on? I can't actually remember.
1 minute 10, maybe something like that.
Yeah. The thing with Bibby, and I've thought this for a while, is like his outright strength is probably up there top 10 in the world, but like his endurance just won't be there. It's the same as like Luke Stoltman. Like Luke Stoltman can move like really heavy farmers, but like he caps out at like 50 seconds on a Hercules hold because it's just completely different.
When you've got so much muscle.
Yes. Well, you're just going to build more lactic, aren't you? Whereas
so like getting rid of the lactate is the key for these, and there's obviously stuff you can take, even like bicarb of soda and stuff like that, just to give you a bit more on these type of events. Like a lactic acid buffer would be the key. But I think the more muscle you've got, the more it'll burn. Yeah. So like for me, when I was bigger, it was like you'd hold on to something and it would be excruciating after 30 seconds, and everything would go into almost cramp. It would feel like. So I think that probably is the issue for the bigger guys.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
And your old mate Mark Felix, he did all right again. Wasn't like 1 second off the record.
He was. We were gutted because obviously I've been working with Mark on his grip. So you know, I mean, what a dream job because like it's like coaching Tom Stoltman, isn't it, for Worlds? But
that's insane, man.
We were all gutted, but like he got a lot closer than I thought he would. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. Like the last few times he's done it, it's been like 110, 115. So,
but he said it was very late notice.
It was, yeah. But like the trouble with grip is like it's an indicator of your overall fatigue. So if you're absolutely exhausted from comp, your grip's going to be the first thing to go. So because he went in fresh, he probably had such an advantage in that. And why didn't I get a call up, man? I genuinely think that Hercules hold, like I'd be pushing that as like a grip hold for me is like elite. Like, we'll see.
You've got a bit of grip about you as well. I think you dig in sort of.
I love it. I actually enjoy pain, like in that environment.
I can't see anyone touching you really on that event.
Do you see what happened to Roman though? He went flying. He didn't set his feet right, and then they let it go, and he just went like up in the air. He was on 1 foot. Yeah, I need.
How was he so good at pressing?
It's mad, isn't it?
He's Ukrainian, mate.
That was crazy.
It's a cheat code. They basically learn to breathe, learn to press dumbbell, learn to walk. That's like the Ukrainian school lessons.
Yeah.
I remember like even going back with the one-arm dumbbell, even going back like 13, 14 years. If you could put the Thomas Inch overhead, you were doing well.
Yeah.
That's like literally when I started going back when I was into strongman to press a 78 overhead with a jerk was considered good. And that's like people are doing what is the world record 150 now, I believe.
154, I think it is. Absolutely unofficial, I think, but
that's literally double. I'm not. Remember, like back in the day, like Glenn Ross and that doing the inch at the Arnold for like 4, maybe 5 reps. And that was considered like that's gone up so much, hasn't it?
Yeah,
that's going to get snatched soon. I'm not going to lie. Someone, Kim or someone, will just snatch a fucking.
You know what? Getting under it is I've pulled the inch to chin height, but putting it to chin height is maybe about 1/5 of the way there. That's the easy bit. The hard bit is catching it because you can't because it doesn't rotate. I mean, I've snatched the baby inch 53 for like sets of 6, right? Now, what makes it so hard is you have to let the bell go and then catch it.
Yeah.
So it's not only having the grip to get it there, it's to let it go and then recapture it, and then the shoulder mobility to get underneath it as well.
That's the big one for a lot of the guys.
So a lot of the guys that are strong enough to do it haven't got the mobility to get into a full snatch.
Yeah.
For me, like whenever I catch it in a clean position, I can just feel my elbow just turn to like dust.
Yeah, totally. Can you imagine catching it, like past the head and having the confidence to commit to a snatch? It's insane. I think the first person to snatch the inch is going to be a candidate for the strongest grip ever. Actually, that would be
true that.
Yeah.
Did you see one thing we need to talk about? Did you see Myerscough do the 166?
I did.
Axle power clean and press.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, what do you say? He strict pressed it as well. Like it's like he shouldn't be able to do that. He's 6'11". He shouldn't be able to do that.
I spoke to him about like actually online about 3 months ago, and he said he was bulking up for something, but he didn't tell me what. And now we know.
Yeah.
He was like, wait and see. You'll see something special soon. I was like, well, there you go.
But like, it's the kind of thing that like it gets done on Insta. Gets 1,000 views or something, and it's like, why aren't we talking about this? Like, this is like 2 people in the world could do that. Like Mark Henry obviously famously did it.
Like,
now, like
50 years ago, they'd be, going down in like folklore almost.
Oh, it would
like that
time. Yeah, 100. I mean, I hope Carl does anyway. But
yeah.
Have you told Sam about our gold, silver, and bronze membership plan?
No, I
It's
haven't heard about this yet.
Great idea.
Yeah. So basically, we thought of almost creating a tier list of like events to conquer. So like the gold standard would be the 104 dumbbell, like captain's crush number 4, pinching 225 plates.
Yeah.
Did we say? And then something like a 35 blob or something.
And then you could get like a 140 Saxon in there as well or something.
That would narrow pinch tested as well.
Yeah.
See, I think on that list, 225 is significantly easier than everything else. But that could be for me though. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's for you.
I can do like reps with 225s down at
the one I'm most likely to get is the 104 inch. I think
that's the one for me. That's the harder one out of those, and obviously the grippers. I don't even train them.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll ever close a Captain of Crush 4 unless I like retire from strongman.
I think we could even go higher than the 4.
I can always close a 3. I think and that's even without training them. But I've got I think I've got the one above a 3 at the comp at the final.
Do you get a 4 moving, Tom?
Yeah, 4's not too bad now.
You closed it.
If you can, it's like it depends on the width of the set. If you're doing a 30, if you're doing a 30 mil set, it's not too bad. But if you're doing credit cards,
it's world class on the credit cards.
Yeah,
just for those watching at home, it is bad. It's still freaky.
It is hard.
£200 isn't too bad once you're like 30 mil, because you're in a good position to get it then. But if you're wider on the 50 mil, it's insane.
I think if inverted closers were allowed in a competition, I'd be more inclined to get back into them again. It feels more comfortable.
We're 15 minutes in. This is by far the nerdiest episode we've done.
No subject, just
I think you need some understanding of grip to understand what we're on about in this podcast.
Yeah. Really. If anyone's still awake this far in, stay with us.
Only the hardcore fans, this one.
Yeah, 100%.
Hardcore fans, this isn't it?
It is 100%. Should we talk about King Kong?
I was going to suggest the same thing.
Yeah.
So we've just done our official King Kong then. It was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Did it go well? I know no one's going to say any numbers, but...
No, we'll try not to.
We can't. Yeah, we can, actually.
Obviously, we had a...
Can you explain King Kong a bit, Tom, for those that don't know?
So King Kong is the multi-international event where, I don't know, there's like 50 different locations that host this one event. And the event, it's the Crusher, it's the
Crusher is like a rolling handle.
Yeah.
Like slightly smaller than 60 mils. 56, 57,
yeah, something like that. The Iron Mind Blockbuster, which is like an 80 mil pinch. Then it's the Finish Ball, which is a key pinch style lift, and the Little Big Horn, which is a vertical bar. So me and Sam are both quite similar, really, where our weaknesses are. Like, we're both good at pinch. You're coming on quite a lot of your vertical bar.
Yeah,
so you're not the same. Your vertical bar is probably your best.
Yeah,
it's not a bad lift for you, is it?
Yeah,
I want to know what you did so bad. You
it was over 100.
Yeah, you definitely got something freaky up.
Like mine was under 100, but it's getting up there. So
yeah.
Or the bicep.
The biceps.
The biceps are good. No injuries. Like triceps didn't go into cramp today, so I'm getting used to the positions.
Yeah.
The Finish Ball is the one where I think we struggle the most.
Yeah, big time.
Both of us have got really, really fat fingers, and I can't get any skin on it at all.
Yeah,
I'm the same. I'm absolutely useless on that implement. It's just there doesn't usually on every implement you figure it out, and there's like a nice way of doing it. But that just feels horrible. However, I'd pick it up. So
it's a lift designed for like people with smaller fingers, and
you've
got to get your finger underneath the ball there, and that's not going to happen for me no matter what.
You might be all right now, Mr. Lean.
Do you know I had to change my figure 8 straps because they were like slipping off. I was like, how have I lost size on like my wrists? Like,
what are you weighing now?
I don't weigh myself because I'm too scared, but I'm pretty sure it's less than 120.
Yeah, you were like 119 the other day.
Jesus, mate, that's dropped loads.
Yeah.
I basically, I was really ill last week, Sam, so I haven't been eating. So it'll go back on. We'll get back to about 130.
Is it half intentional then to lose weight in the off season?
So I started with a nutrition. Like we wanted to lean right out just because you know I'm a very athletic, strong man anyway. But I didn't want to get this light. But illness and everything. So it'll have done me no harm in the long run. It's just right now. My pressing feels so weak. It feels good. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not a huge focus at the minute, but like The dumbbells feel easy.
Yeah.
I think my pinch might be a bit down, but I just don't have the body weight to like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel
Muscle
good.
it up.
Yeah.
I found there was a line for body weight and grip stuff where it would keep going up until it got to a point where I was carrying a large amount of bloat on contract. And when I was really watery, my hands just kind of started feeling slippery.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get any skin on the implements.
I hear that a lot.
There's actually a point where it goes like that and then it goes down past a certain point.
Yeah.
When dieting actually helped bring back some of my grip events. And
That's kind of what we've tried a little bit with the finish ball today, just to try and kind of shrink our fingers down a bit before we got
said
up to
that.
it.
We said that about Bibby as well, though, didn't we? Like, if he lost, if he was leaner, he'd be so good at grip, like scary.
what did you weigh in a minute? Is it about 200 kilos or something like that? It's a big boy. Isn't it?
It's pretty much bang on 200, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like crap at 175. So
He is tall though. No, not saying you're not, Sam. But
I'm not. I'm
he's
5'9" when I'm lying down. I'm 5'8" stood up. Like if I lie on my side, I'm taller.
Absolute width.
it's when Tiny says he's 6'6", and you're like, no, you're not, and then he actually like stands up straight, like unhunches. You're like, oh, okay, maybe you are.
Himself.
Yeah.
He looks like a unit in a minute, doesn't he?
He's lost a bit of weight as well. Again, we'll see
strong, isn't
if
he?
that helps him, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you now it is helping him. I think, to be honest, I think Tiny's the best all-rounder in the country at the minute.
He's just
I don't
improved
think-
on everything.
I mean, he's been an absolute pleasure to coach. So he's just absolutely like nailed it, and like, he was good when he didn't train grip. So now he's doing it consistently, like twice a week. He's just turned into an absolute freak.
His blob power was insane.
That's so
It's,
good.
that wide pinch is like, it's crazy.
That
It-
30
yeah.
hop is like, I mean, we can't
It's
lift it
horrible.
yet, can we? So,
I said if he lifts that one, he can have it.
yeah. Actually,
And I'll buy a new one.
I've got one, and it's pissing me off sat in the corner that I can't lift it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's.
A little blob cycle and you'll get
Yeah, I think so. I think if I stop.
That sounds awful. Blob cycling.
Like, is anyway, focus on blob.
it. Yeah, just like 6 weeks of non-stop blobbing.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh,
So if I stop
Christ.
on wrestling, so my injuries hit up.
Yeah. What are you going to go more on wrestling next year, or what do you reckon?
I've got the grip goals to tick off first.
Yeah.
And the problem is with arm wrestling, I've been permanently actually injured ever since doing it.
Yeah.
Like my thumb tendons and wrists and stuff just don't heal.
Yeah.
It's something completely different to anything I've had in powerlifting or even when I used to strongman years ago.
Yeah.
It's putting pressure on areas that just don't.
I say
recover.
the trouble with you, Sam, as well, like where you're so strong, like you're going to have to go in against big boys. Like, you're not going to develop it like over time, are you? You're going to go straight in with the big boys, and then
I've gone
there's
straight in.
there's ligaments and muscles that aren't used to it, and it's like that's when it gets sketchy. It's
I've had like for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had a sprain in my thumb here, and it's taken maybe about 20% off my grip recently.
They
And
do.
that's
They-
with
Yeah.
like somebody with grip goals to tick off. That's pretty much.
Finger strains are such an irritation because like they don't hurt day to day, but like your grip's just like Miles is still struggling from the grip final.
Is he
Like,
actually?
he pinged his finger on the tip blaster, and it's like it's really causing him issues.
Oh,
like
that
still,
thing, mate. That's I hurt myself on that as well, actually.
yeah,
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
that's
he
in the
Popped
bin.
like, it popped like a. I don't know what it was exactly, but I heard it pop, and like
Today's hot topic is the tip blaster needs to go in the bin.
Yeah, unless you're Chris Stefano, then you just swing off it with one hand.
yeah, one of the guys I
Yeah.
coach, Charlie Fuller as well.
Yeah.
He's insane at it. He
Yeah.
does like nearly double body weight on it. You know,
Yeah.
he's doing like 150 on it, and he weighs like 8 kilos.
I feel like you've got less chance of injury with smaller fingers.
Yeah, I
Because
have actually.
if we've got a bit of loose hand almost,
Yeah,
we're not
it's
fully
like-
tensed up
it's
on it.
almost like a crimp lift,
Yeah.
but it's kind of not. It's like a crimp under tension in one
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
It's a cool implement. I think if you did volume, getting used to it,
That's
you wouldn't. I think if you're strong and you jump straight into it,
Yeah,
that's when
This
you're
is
gonna
what-
get hurt.
this is
You
what
know?
we said originally
Yeah,
when
just-
Tiny was
yeah.
lifting like 150 straight away.
Yeah.
It's one of them you
Just-
need to bed in.
Just jump into it. It's like fingertips.
to be fair, I did 160 on it the day it arrived.
You did.
I think I did like 140 and my finger popped. It was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
No.
Yeah,
But
it's,
there was obviously
No,
more
thank you.
there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
it's one of them you put it down, you're like, oh.
Yeah, it actually really hurt. And in my last powerlifting competition, I could still feel the injury from it on my last deadlift. It
Really?
was like, yeah, it was like actually, it didn't affect my pull, but it was still there. So it was actually to the point where it's counterproductive.
Are you finished
So-
with powerlifting now, do you reckon?
Oh god, yeah, done with it. I've hit everything I wanted to do. The last goal was a £900 squat in sleeves. Tick that off.
Cash
Done. You can't maintain that level of performance for a long time.
Not healthy.
No, yeah, exactly. It's not worth. Powerlifting is an amazing sport, but it's not worth taking years of your life.
Yeah.
So for me, that's it.
Now you can just squeeze things.
No, sit in the corner and squeeze things. I'm happy about that.
I look forward to that day in like 10, 15 years time.
Could have a world's strongest man by then.
It actually sounds all right,
I've got a few things to tick off first,
Yeah.
The best way to do it in a sport like that, get in, get out, get your goals ticked off. Don't stay in it for years and,
I disagree.
And stuff like that.
I'm in strongman for the long run.
Yeah. That's it, mate.
Well, see, you've done it sensibly really so far with your journey. You've not sort of blown yourself up to a level that's just going to blow your arms off or something. You've kind of slowly built up your physique, and then, hopefully next year again, you can just carry on building up to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got a good feeling about next year.
Sensible man.
That keeps injuries away as well.
That's it.
Rather than rushing it. I mean, one of the things I did wrong, if I could go back in time, was when I was in my early 20s. I was like 21, and I had like a 170 strict log, which was back then it was like one of the best in the UK. That's back in 2012. And one of the things I did wrong was rushed it. I was putting on so much strength, so much size so quickly, and then I ended up getting really badly injured. I blew my knee out in 2013, and that was kind of the end of my strongman career. And I think if you rush things, you've got more chance of getting badly. So little steps all the way up. Well, unless you're Mitch Hooper, and then you go from marathon running to strongman in 4 years.
Must be something to do with marathon running. Hey, that was your pastime, wasn't it?
Someone did say I'm like a bit of a Mitch Hooper.
They did, yeah. You got too much hair still.
What? Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Best compliment I've ever had.
I think if you've got like the baseline athleticism, the grip, and the leverage for deadlift, I think the rest can come, So like the pressing power and stuff can develop. Whereas if you're built like me and you're a good presser naturally, and you haven't really got the athleticism or the ability to lift stones because of your build, that's harder to get. Yeah. So I think you've got the attributes there. It's easier to build up your log rather than the other way around. Rather than basically powerlifter trying to do strongman, which is what I was.
I think you get to a certain level quicker, but I'm quite lucky that I got to Giants Live and everyone sort of knows me now. So but it's easier for someone to get in through online qualifiers if they've got a 200 log and a 400 deadlift, but then I'll smash them at comps on anything moving.
I think the online qualifier format would have really suited me when I was younger, especially the big logs and touch and go deadlifts. I can do whatever I can lift for one, for 10 anyway.
Yeah, the first year of England's, I qualified 17th through the online qualifier and came 4th. It's just it's so weighted for the static monsters.
Yeah. What do you think about online qualifiers? Do you think they're good, or obviously it started during COVID, didn't it, as an option?
Oh, maybe this is the hot topic. I don't think they're optimal, but I think they're necessary, if that makes sense. Because
I like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think during COVID they were essential for the sport.
Because apparently for the England's qualifier this year, it's just first come, first serve, and it's that to me isn't sensible because this is the pathway to Giants Live, and people could miss out that could genuinely contest for Giants Live because they didn't sign up quick enough. And it's and you might have 20 people there that literally anyone can. My dad could enter. So that stresses me out a bit. But I don't know. I think as long as you've got a good mix of events and you have got some form of moving event in there, it's okay. But I don't know. It's hard. What's the alternative? Basically, that's the problem.
More comps and car parks, isn't that the alternative?
Yeah. I don't mind that though. I quite like it.
I think it's what strongman's about. It's what strongman was when I started doing it.
I think more of the top guys should do more comps, to be honest. Because for me, I feel bad going and doing an open show now. Yeah. And in reality, I've only done about 10, 15 comps in my life, but I just had a great year last year where I got to Giants from basically nothing. And now it's I'm in a position where it's can I do this comp? It's a bit dodgy if I go and demolish it, but
like take it as a training day. Like you can take
That's
it
it.
and any open comp you want. It's good experience for.
But for me, like I don't think this is a bad thing, but I'm like trophy driven as well. Like so, like
Yeah.
I want a house full of trophies like Zadrunas and like, do you know what I mean? Like, but we don't have the opportunity to compete every weekend like they did in like, you know, in like Europe, like with Strongman's League, Champions League and stuff. So, you know,
that's making a comeback now. You know.
Yeah, it is. I just like being competitive and winning things. To be honest, like that's what
I like.
Yeah, you're doing the barbell division, Aaron.
Yes, the Aaron Page Classic. Yeah.
When's that?
30th of November. That's my next comp. Obviously, I've got a few little things in between. Like I've got this winter gathering at Spartan where I'm going to try load a 250 stone, which would be an English record. And then obviously the Thomas Inch dumbbell walk as well. So I've got a few things going on, but that's my first comp for a while. And then obviously Brits in Feb.
Yeah. What's Mark doing for training? What have you programmed him?
So literally all he's had, because he had the wrecking ball, the Hercules hold last week. I've given him fat grip dumbbell carries, 3 sets of 10 meters with 70 to 75, something like that. And basically just recover him because he doesn't need it. He really doesn't. Like,
no, he's got the hands, hasn't he? And he's pretty lean. He's got a decent bit of speed.
And it's because he's doing the Masters comp the day after as well. So like, I can't interfere with his training even though I think he'll walk that comp, but like, it's trying not to get in the way of that because he wants to win that. And it's, you know,
with those farmers walks, what do you think the best technique is? To go out quick and try and outrun your grip, or
for me, that's
steps and knock them out your hands.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what I was talking to Tiny about. Like, it's finding a balance. Like, because I'm not gonna say skinny, but narrow. I can sort of get away with going quite quick. Whereas if you're wider, it's gonna bang on your legs a lot more.
Yeah,
this is what I find.
You know, the perfect build is someone like Rebecca Roberts, you know, with like really wide shoulders and like narrow, so she could like farmers and like perfect.
When I tried it, my quads just like I picked the inches up, no problem, and then when I started to walk, my quads just knocked them out of my hands straight away.
Yeah, you're the worst build. You would have to like sort of row them up a bit and keep them out of the way of your legs.
Like that kind of position.
That's how Mark does it, or did it?
I have to get it past my quads and like over where I've got less tissue, which is my hips are smaller, whereas my quads are like right in the way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agreed.
I
will just be legging it basically and relying on speed.
Yeah.
The last time I picked up 2-inch dumbbells was the Brian Shaw's challenge when he put out the incline press.
Yeah.
And picking them up, sitting back and lapping them, and then flicking them up to an incline position. That wasn't too bad, to be honest.
There's not a lot of people who basically hammer curl an inch.
Yeah, it was like lift them, lap them, and then kind of sit down. And the hard part was the flick. Yeah. So getting them from the quads to the chest was the hard bit.
It's a lot of wrist once it's like, sort of back in.
And a lot of stability that way as well. Yeah. That was, I think that's the most impressive grip feat I've done, actually.
Yeah.
Was probably lapping those.
I agree. It's a full body strength feat as well, to be honest. Like, because I wouldn't incline press 80s. Like, no.
That's the thing, is that you need to be strong everywhere. So your grip needs to be good. You're like back and
you're indestructible wrists, like Tom said.
Everything's got to be strong.
To stop the rotation that way.
Yeah. I think when I first saw Brian do that feat, I was like, wow, this is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in.
You got to do a pair of 85s, Sam.
Oh, mate, it's. I know. Do you know what? Right now, obviously, once the thumb heals up, I'm strong enough grip-wise to do it, but my pressing's down from losing weight, so it's finding the balance. Now, like 85s are going to be hard on that, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. I probably need to be to control 170 kilos on thick dumbbells. I probably got to weigh about 160, so probably put on a little bit more, just a little bit more weight, you know. But obviously, Brian was like over 200, wasn't it, when we did it?
Yeah.
So as a fraction of body weight, it's a lot more for me.
Fucking Brian Shaw.
But I'm sure you'll smash the farmers walk anyway, mate. I think it's going to be a good event for you.
Yeah. What do you reckon about Tiny? He's doing it as well.
Is he doing it as well?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be close, I reckon.
Yeah, it's just the speed, isn't it? Can he keep the distance going?
I genuinely think that there's potential for all three of us to break it, but I think Mark does more. Because Mark's hands are just like, he can stop the rotation of the dumbbells because his hands touch. Like, it's like, it's his record anyway. Like, I don't get me wrong.
Paddy. Who's going first?
Do you know what I think? I reckon I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
I'm going to sort of set the benchmark because
Yeah,
I think I'm the least likely.
Yeah.
Then we'll get Tiny out, and then we'll let Mark do it as like a show because it's his record. He deserves to go last to defend
That's
it.
fair.
Gives him a chance to defend it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets a chance to
So
defend his record then, doesn't he?
because we're like the up and coming, like
That's fair.
heel biters. So I reckon I'll go out first. This is
Heel
like,
biters.
yeah, just as a good coach, like I'll set the benchmark. But I think me and Tiny are about the same mark. I think it's a bit an awful lot on this one. 35 meters is savage, but
No, I think you'll all get it. I think
That's a long way.
Yeah, I think I said. Did I say 60?
yeah, you're off your head though.
I think someone will go 60. Honestly,
I'm
because
going to say between 40 and 50. I reckon.
If you're Mark though, do you beat it by a meter, or do you use this opportunity to just absolutely send it to oblivion?
send it.
Yeah.
Surely, because
it depends if Rogue come knocking and offer him like 20 grand to go and do it again, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, it's difficult because you want to do it really in your off season, don't you? Because you never know, you could just get an injury by doing something stupid or just extending something a bit far.
Well, like you could drop it on your foot or anything, like.
Yeah, there is. But doing grip though, the amount of times I've done, like, I mean, I'm not the most mobile kind of guy, right? But the amount of little dances I've done to get out of the way of grip stuff I've dropped, you kind of know where it's going to go. Tom did a class one with we did like a clapping thing with blobs, and Tom did a little hop to move his feet out of the way, and he hopped twice, and it was perfect because his feet were out of the way. It's like, I think you know kind of where to drop stuff, don't you? When you've done it enough times.
You just get used to it.
You know where it's going to land, don't you? Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Right. What else do we have to discuss this week?
I'm trying to think what else impressive I've seen online. But
I haven't really seen much. It's been quite a quiet week, really, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's what I will say is that we're going to have 2 Thomas Inch dumbbells at the Fit Expo. Obviously, we're doing the record, so if you do want to come and lift an actual replica, give me a shout and I'll have them with me. Yeah. And then how's seasoning on number 2 coming, Tom?
It's getting there. I'm trying my best. Yeah, Sam will have a go as well. We're taking the 104 to the arm wrestling because James Stewart wants to try and lift it.
I reckon he's got a good chance.
I do.
He's done like 112 on a God's Grip 60 mil. Yeah. He's a giant of a man. He's like 6'10" or something like that, I think.
That we need to do a comp with a max 60 mil in because that record is going to get taken up 10 kilo now.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Tiny both put up about, I can't remember. I think he got 111 and I did about 114.
Ridiculous, mate. Yeah. I've done 108 in the gym.
It'd be interesting to see the first person to 120 on a 60 mil now.
That's ridiculous.
That is absurd.
On that
it will happen next year, someone, I'm sure. I have no doubt. Like the level is just always going up.
Be interesting to get Carl Myerskoff on one of them.
I know.
He'd be close to that, I think. Carl's down to have like 115.
I don't know. His stick bar's not the same as like Luke Reynolds or Kim, is it?
Yeah, I was going to say Luke and Carl probably because he got beat at the grip comp recently in at the Olympia. He didn't win win the rep, but I mean it was it 17 reps or something? Like we've already said, like.
See, a rep out for me would be fantastic. I love a rep out,
Yeah, in fact, Jason Dingy commented on our video last week, who was one of the competitors.
Oh yeah,
he actually told I met him actually out in the States. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Yeah, he's a big dude in person.
Yes.
I didn't realize
they all are, Sam. They all are in grip. I'm a midget in grip. I'm nearly 6'4".
He said the open class guys had 90 kilos on the third pin. The under 125 had 90, and the guys over 125 had 100. So it was quite a heavy weight, really. Yeah, but it is on a 50 mil handle.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
That's still heavy, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, I think all the top guys, didn't we? We got over 100 on the 50 mil.
That was it. I think the last one was like 115.
Yeah, we got like the second.
Who's got the record, Tom?
Let's have a look. Is it? Have you got it on the 50 mil?
Yeah, it's like 125, isn't it?
You did the last thing, didn't you? And you just come over in the finals and did the.
I'm a bit of a knob, Sam.
I was like, well, you didn't have to lift 10 bars before. That's why I got it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's actually tiny.
Is it?
Is it?
Let's see. There you
I
go.
hate that
There
guy.
it is.
Oh, there we go.
Tiny. 123.9.
He's right.
Oh, there
That's
we
I'm
go.
putting on a comp tomorrow. Max 50 mil. Entries are open.
Yeah. And to be fair, Sam Unsworth, who doesn't train grit really, he's natural powerlifter. Or is he? I think it's strongman. Sorry, not powerlifting. He's actually coming to do King Kong this weekend. He's a freak.
Was he at the finals?
Yeah,
Did he
180.
win the 185s at the final? Didn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Ollie was in the 120 because he's fat.
Yeah.
He weighed in like 105.5, didn't he?
Do you know what? I would literally walk up to 121 kilos now to avoid it.
Yeah.
If I was that
That's
weight,
it,
I'd be
yeah.
like, fuck it.
Yeah. I
I'm
agree.
going to get heavier, you know?
Yeah, next year Ollie's going to be difficult. It's just because he's good at grippers and pinch. Everything's
He's
good.
not got a weak point. Like for me, I've got vertical bars, which
Yeah.
lets me down in a contest always.
Yeah.
I always lose points.
My thoughts on Ollie is like he's an absolute freak, but he still hasn't put it together in a comp yet. Like like there's a few comps where I've beaten him, and he's just made like bad calls on weight jumps and stuff, and it's like like I've always just played to win. Like I'm such a competitive freak. It is, and that'll come. That's it. Like once he puts it together,
like strongman or powerlifting, like we've had experience as being a pro in sports. It kind of you don't overshoot. You know what I mean?
I think he's chasing the numbers a bit, isn't he?
Learning to win is a skill in itself, though, isn't it? Like knowing like what you need to do.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see what it does next year.
It's going to be interesting to watch anyway.
Did we think of a hot topic?
Oh, it was tilted lifts.
Should they count?
To me.
So do tilted lifts count?
No. In my opinion, absolutely not. It's a good
I agree with Sam. To be honest,
it's got to be level, hasn't it?
I think if it's not level, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
For non
guy lifts the inch tilted, it's still impressive.
Yeah.
But I think
for non-grip nerds, we mean like the easiest way to lift a dumbbell.
We could show you now.
Is
Do you want to go
get the. You basically get the back bell off, lift it so the handle's like vertical, and then lift the front. Some comps will allow it, some comps don't allow it. It's just one of them, isn't it? Like you're technically lifting it, but like Sam and I both said before this recording, like we're both training to lift the Millennium at the minute. Like Sam's injured, but that's our goal basically. Yeah. And like I don't want to lift it and it be like a technicality that I tilted it. Like I just want to be able to walk up to it, Brian Shaw it, fucking like suitcase lift it.
For me,
and that's when you're a don.
Somebody was like, "But you tilted it." That kind of ruins it. You know,
like,
it's the same as doing a squat. Oh yeah, but it was high. It kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
If you're going to squat in comp, sink it. You know.
Yeah.
Don't be proud of a half squat. Put your arse.
That's it. Yeah, it's a good.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to be, even if you get given it by the judge, and you know deep down it was high. You know it's high.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away from anyone that's lifted a Millennium like tilted because it's a crazy feat. But
no, I think it's a work in progress. It is impressive.
Have you been cutting weight, Tom?
The same as a level lift at all.
So can you see that there?
Yeah, you see that as perfect.
So we'll say a tilted lift is like
so you're bracing the back bell against your wrist when you do it.
Can we see a single? Can we see a single arm lift on that Red Bull, Tom?
A what? A tilted lift is like, it's like that. It's more of a vertical bar lift.
Yeah. I think it's a good training tool because a tilted lift is a good progression. Now I have clients that want to lift the inch, work towards a tilted lift first. Now it tends to happen about 3 or 4 months before a level lift. So it obviously contributes to getting stronger. And it's a good way to deal with with the rotation of one of the bells at a time. Yeah. So it's a progress. I think.
I would agree. I think that's why Harley's just bought the 60 mil vertical.
I mean, Harley
can
lift the inch level now. He lifted the inch level and the blob in the other hand. And he's like an 80 kilo guy. Yeah. And he's lifting the inch and the
Harley's wild
blob at the same time.
Yeah.
I think Harley's in a league of his own in that weight class at the minute, to be honest. Like he's probably world leading. Like I know there's a lot of climbers out there that are decent, but like the pinch grip on the man especially is just freaky.
I think with Harley, he actually trains powerlifting as well, so he's actually strong. He doesn't really like look like a powerlifter.
Yeah.
For top end grip though, you
know?
need that like strength as well, because like a 200 AA round axle is like, for me, that's like, it's near enough 50% now, which is mad to say. But like, if that's your max deadlift, then your grip's never going to hang on, is it? Because like for me, a 200 kilo deadlift's absolutely nothing now.
Could he go up to 93? Do you think his strength
Oh
would
yeah,
improve?
he could make 93.
Do you think it'd help him?
I think so. Yeah.
He's cutting for 83s now, isn't he?
That's it. Yeah. So
to be honest, he's coming in this time. He's cruised in this time. He lost his weight last week, and now he's cruising into this comp, so he's not having to water cut or anything. So he's sitting comfortably. I think he went to Thailand for like 4 weeks and sweated out most of his weight, so he come back a bit skinnier, but it's not hurt his strength at all. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in King Kong. I think it's going to be one to watch.
It'll be really good to see how he fares worldwide, won't it?
Because I think he's going to do well. You know? His lifts in the gym have been impressive to watch. You know, he can walk up, lift the legacy blob 25 all the time. He can lift the inch on demand. You know, his hub lifting is insane. He's done like nearly £100 hub now on a plate.
So, like, that plate he's got though is like an absolute cheat code. Like even I lifted it like one.
Let me tell you something about this hub, right? It's been lifted by 2 women as well, which you know, women just don't lift by the hub. I mean, Julia is obviously ridiculously strong anyway. She picked up 2 each hand and just started doing like rows with them, which she's got like a 160 bench. So I'm not surprised she can do them. But there was a little 56 kilo powerlifter and rock climber girl called Kate that managed to lift the hub at 56 kilo body weight. So it's nearly half her body weight, and she lifted it.
All these Americans,
that was insane. I think So that plate, I mean, it is one of the easiest plates I've touched, but it still counts as a hard
It's still
lift.
cool. It's still cool.
It's not like, you know, some of the shallow Yorks and stuff are hard even for me now.
I was going to say, I'd love to just get to a point where you can hub like any 20 plate.
I can do most of them. There's like sometimes the body power ones with like some of them have cone shaped rims, and I always struggle when they're cone shaped. Yeah. But apart from those, I can pretty much.
That's like those primal ones.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
They look like they're going to be nice.
Yeah.
And then you pick them up by the hub, and they just start to slip, don't they?
We've not had the 25. We've had the 20.
No, not 25. I've had a 20 out. I think we both have.
That was at Bionic. We did that.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah. When you think Jerome actually struggled with a 20, and hub is, he's literally is hub lifting,
the hub,
and he struggled with a 20. So that shows how hard they are. I would say
the human hub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
right,
I think,
Tom.
Yeah, we're about to die here. The battery. It's 5 o'clock. So
that's clock off time. I don't work past 5.
I know. Yeah, that's sorry, guys.
I'm gonna get a train back. A long day for me, like.
Yeah. But there we go. That's episode 4, and a bit nerdy this week. Another unexpected guest, I guess.
Hey, we're doing well. We'll have Karl Marskov on next week at this rate.
We could do.
Right.
It's only.
I know. I asked him to.
I tried to get him here as well. I tried to get him to mine.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm just over for like."
He said he had a niggle as well.
Yeah.
So.
I think
didn't want to embarrass him anyway.
Like to see him clean up 30 whole blood bags. Straight up.
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you for watching.
Thanks, mate.
We'll see you next week.
See you in the next one.
See you soon, buddy.
See you soon, guys.
Oh, yeah, there we go.